Hello, good afternoon. Okay, so I'm going to be sitting in front of my computer with my very 70s looking basement. I miss having my Inuyasha poster over here, or wall scroll. It's actually over there now with Inuyasha and Sesshomaru in it. This one I don't like. I think it's that SS Brigade girl. I can't think of it right now. Haruka or something like that. I don't know. I don't really like that character. I didn't like that anime much. I don't really watch anime anymore. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. So, somebody was talking about let's see. What they were talking about, I figure I'll just Minecraft a little while I'm doing this. I'm actually mining obsidian, so it doesn't really take a lot of effort. But anyway, okay, so for Christmas, I don't know how it was in your family, but in my family, we used to love, at Christmas time, we knew it was Christmas, and we kind of, as kids, we kind of knew Santa wasn't real. But you know, everything was still written as Santa gave it to us. But we liked our stockings were always full, but they were always full with I suppose I should probably actually look at the camera. When we were younger, we weren't very rich, but my dad tried to provide. I mean, he did his best. He did much better than, I mean, he was a single parent. I mean, pretty much. I mean, when I was really young, we had both parents, and I do remember my mom working. She used to work at a place called Telex, I think. She said they made headsets for people to use, like when she would when we'd watch football, she'd talk about how the headsets that they used to wear, those are what, she used to make. But I don't honestly know if that's true. I don't know if I'm remembering that wrong. But anyway, so like I said, so I was listening to somebody talk about how their Christmases used to go. So when we were younger, we used to, just like any other child, you get excited, you don't want to go to sleep, but if you do go to sleep, then the next morning you can open presents. Just like anybody, no matter what the presents are, you could have dollar store presents and we still would have opened them like, oh my God, toys, because that's just how we were. But anyway, or even hand-me-down toys, who cares? Is something new to you? I've never understood why there are certain people, like, when I was trying to get rid of some of my kids' clothes, I had this one chick. Don't talk to her anymore because of this, but she was in my friend circle. She was a friend of my friend, but we were all a part of the same circle. And she had some kids who are a couple of years behind my kids in age. So when my kids outgrew the clothes, I was looking to see if somebody wanted my kids' clothes. And she's like, oh, my kids don't get hand-me-downs. I'm like, wow, your shit must not stink, basically. I've never understood that mentality that people have. I don't know, maybe it's just because of how I grew up. I don't care if my clothes come from Goodwill or a garage sale or, if they're hand-me-downs, whatever. It's new to me and it'll just get some more life. But anyway, back to the whole Christmas thing. All right, so, we didn't want to ever go to sleep, but we did. But I remember just when we were younger, I remember being awake, and then my dad would be awake, because he used to work a third shift job, so he'd have his normal job. He used to work at a place called Crenlo, and what they did was they made cabs, like tractor cabs, the like interior part of a machine, like a backhoe or bobcats, you know, various, or maybe even, or maybe it was even like, I don't think it was for like farm equipment, but I don't know. But anyway, he used to do he used to weld, because I remember he used to have these dark green little piece of glass things. He'd come home with them, and you know, I didn't know what, I didn't understand. I guess I knew. I mean, you know certain things, like you're not supposed to look at, you know, when you're welding, you're not supposed to look at the flame, but you know, he'd come home with those, and but anyway, like broken pieces or something. I don't know. I don't remember why he even did that. Or maybe it was because he had a helmet or something and had to replace the piece. Who knows? I don't know. I just remember I remember seeing the dark green glass. I think it was green. I could have swore it was a shade of green. Anywho's, still off topic. So, all right. So it's like Christmas Eve, right? And now see, this is different from how my kids are, you know, how my kids were raised. My kids, we always tried to, you know, put little, you know, small presents like candies or things inside their stockings. Well, when I was little, it was always an apple or some kind of fruit, you know, or maybe not even. So most of the time it was just popcorn, and my dad would make popcorn at night after he'd come home from work, and because he would have his first job at Crenlo doing the welding. That's how I got on the little tinted glass. And then he had another job working out at the airport. Anyway, he'd come home because, you know, back then we only had my dad. My dad raised us, so, you know, money was tight. But you know what? That was the best popcorn ever. I don't remember if there was salt or butter on it, but we loved our little stocking with popcorn in it. I just was listening to some guy recount his Christmas and how crappy it was to get a fruit or something in your stocking. It's like, yeah, those are the type of people that were not like me. I mean, when I was younger, I mean, I weighed, let me see. This'll work. I can show you this. It's a little, all right, well, this picture looks really stupid, but anywho's, this is what I looked like when I was like 18, 19. I think I might have been 20 actually in this picture. So I was like really super skinny. Yeah, do I look like that? Anyway, yeah, this was like a size 6 dress or something like that. But anyway, the whole reason why I was that skinny was I was so used to not eating and stuff. And of course, now look at me, I'm a fat person. But anywho's, you know, I just thought I would talk about how, you know, it doesn't matter what you know, if you had just popcorn in your stocking and you loved it, who's to say anything different? I mean, like one of the meals that I loved as a kid that my husband likes to make fun of me about is my dad is a hunter, so we would have deer every so often, and one of our favorite meals when we were growing up was my dad would just brown hamburger meat, you know, deer meat, and we would just put ketchup and mustard on it and eat it. And, you know, he'd portion it out. So I don't remember if it was just a pound or whatever. And that's what we ate. We would just have ground hamburger as our meal. No bread, nothing like that, just that. And, you know, that was, and my dad, he made great omelets. I cannot make an omelet to save my life. I'm not very, I can make omelets, but I don't like my omelets. My dad's omelets were always really good. He was always pretty good at making them. He can make them like this, where you bloop, bloop, and then, but me, I was just over once, so they look like little, you know, half taco or whatever. But anyway, still way off topic, but I'm going to end for now because I actually have to get going and doing supper things, but I just figured I'd just talk about one of the things I remembered from my childhood about Christmas was hearing the popcorn maker and the stockings, we knowing the stockings were going to have popcorn in them, and I just loved it. And back when we were little, we used to have popcorn that had, now you know how popcorn seeds are just the yellow? Well, there used to be, I don't know, I have not been able to find it at all since I was a kid, but there used to be a brand of popcorn that the seeds were colored like blue, purple, or blue, red, yellow, and green. And of course, when you pop it, the popcorn still just pops white because the inside of the popcorn is white. But the little part on the little shell that, when the popcorn pops, it would be colored. And it didn't really change or taste any different than any other popcorn. I just happened to remember that as a kid. But anyway, yeah, if you have any other, stories of what you used to enjoy getting in your stocking as a kid, let me know. I would love to hear it. I love hearing other people's stories. All right, you have a great rest of your evening. Bye.